We're changing things up a bit this week as we take you to the peaceful village of Spring Garden. Our location is the Moravian Church, pastored by Reverend Nigel Daniel. It's been a pretty busy week and we have an exciting show for you. I'm Davia Chambers and Let's Talk Tobago starts now. Central Bank's Know Your Money seminar. Primary school students learn history of Carnival, and later we take you on a trip to the Wetlands. These stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago continues. We'll be right back.
Come, let me go to Tobago, that paradise, swung by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come Tobago for holiday.
The Spring Garden Moravian Church was first constructed in 1851 on the ruins of an old sugar factory. It served as a sanctuary, school and community center and survived the wrath of Hurricane Flora in September 1963, the year this present structure behind me was constructed. Now our first story speaks to money as the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago seeks to review the currency of the country. Caroline Wallace has the details in this report.
Soon, Trinidad and Tobago's 1 cent piece will be no more. It's being phased out of circulation by the central bank. Large volumes of coins are issued to commercial banks each year. On average, 45 million cents are minted annually at a cost of 21 cents each. However, there's been relatively little use of the 1 cent in recent years. The move is expected to save the central bank $15 million each year. The announcement was made at the institution's Know Your Money Financial Seminar, a series of events hosted in communities around Trinidad and Tobago. The Tobago edition of the series was held at the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex in Scarborough.
So we're looking at the 5, 10, and 25 cent pieces to be changed, for the composition to be changed out so that we will have a basic steel core to the coin instead of having the coin comprised mainly of alloys like copper and nickel. We're going to have this steel core overlaid by copper and nickel. Durability will be fine.
But there's no need to worry. The value of the cent will be maintained within our currency. Instead, cash rounding will be implemented. This means the final cash payment will be adjusted to the nearest 5 or 10 cents.
Individual prices are not what we're thinking of when we're looking at cash rounding rules. We are looking at the total value of the bill to be paid at the end of your transaction. So you've come into a grocery and you've done your shopping, you've completed a full list of items, and at the end, inclusive of all charges, the final value to be paid is what we are going to look at in terms of implementing a rounding system. So merchants will not have to be concerned about changing the prices of individual items on their shelves.
At the seminar, participants also learned the common elements of banknotes, which help minimize the likelihood of forgery.
We therefore view this seminar as highly important in that it provides members of the public with the knowledge to minimize the chances of them becoming victims of counterfeiters.
This was the second Know Your Money Financial Seminar hosted by the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
The old church is still operational as it's used as a remedial learning center and a meeting place. Plans and proposals are currently in the making for the renovation of the building. Work hard and play even harder. Our next story is dedicated to Tyreek Hosford, a young man who was awarded the first Citizen Sport Foundation Youth Award for Athletics. Kearney Freitas has all the details in this report.
Tyreek Hosford has been one of Trinidad and Tobago's leading youth athletes. Off the field, he's relaxed, even jovial, and hard-working. And competitors in the region have taken note of this young talent who once again broke the national under-18 javelin record. He'll soon be off to compete at the upcoming Carifta Games, where he's seeking his third straight under-18 javelin title and Carifta and national record. But it's not all smooth sailing for this 17-year-old rising star from Parla Touvier.
It's a very rough road for me at the moment, but I'm trying my best to at least get back to the position where I was in 2015 or 26, well 2015 mostly, and be able to throw without any problems. My 2016 season, it was very traumatic for me because I think I was during the off season I had a minor injury, and then it was really affecting me going to compete, and it was affecting me both physically and mentally. But I was able to get over it, thank God for that, and I went out and participated and broke the record again.
Tyreek's performances earned him a nomination at the first Citizens Sports Foundation Youth Awards, where he emerged in the top 10. For him, it's an inspiration to keep working towards senior elite status. At last year's Carifta Games, Tyreek's performances was almost 9 meters better than the nearest competitor. Back then, he explained his secret to that success.
The most challenging thing, I will say the competition itself, because if you're going to a competition too nervous or too excited with the javelin, you wouldn't perform to your best. You just have to go out there and be relaxed, keep an open mind for anything that is possible to happen, and just do your best.
This year, the athlete has set his sight on breaking the 75-meter barrier. He believes this will set him up well to reach the 80-meter range next year. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
The original Spring Garden Church was the third Moravian church to be established in Tobago. Today, the church is pastored by Reverend Nigel Daniel, who answered his call to pastor the Moravian congregation in 2014. Now, the Dwight York Stadium parade grounds was the place to be as the crowd jumped and waved to the beat of sweet pan music. 15 bands contended for the title of THA Pan Champs 2017, and the winner is
Tobago Panthers, Petrotrin Cats and Jammers, and NLCB Buccaneers are all finalists in this year's Panorama competition. And they showed just why, with energetic performances to be crowned 2017 THA Pan Champs. 15 steel bands participated in the annual THA Pan Champs competition at the Bacolet Parade Square. Tobago Panthers grabbed the honors in the small band category. Their tune of choice was Cheers to Life by Aaron Voice St. Louis, which earned them 445 points. In second place was CNB Crown Cordons playing Super Blues Flag Party, and Our Boys Steel Orchestra with Good Morning by Peter Ram. Buccaneers and Cats and Jammers could not be separated, tying for the top prize. Buccaneers played Rhythm Run Things by Colonel Roberts, and Cats and Jammers performed Good Morning. The podium was complete with NGC Steel Explosion bringing Johnny King's Wet Me Down to life on steel. Pan Tobago is pleased with the progress Steel Band is making in Tobago.
Tonight's show is symbolic as it allows us to celebrate our new mantra, Pan for all, by all, and with all to the full extreme. The Tobago region has been the beneficiary of its own physical space on the Tobago Carnival landscape. Moreover, we have been able to develop Tobago's premier carnival product, the THA Pan Champs.
It's a sign that Pan is flourishing on the island.
We can be proud of developing a national instrument in the 21st century, an instrument that is enjoyed all over the world, an instrument that is taught in schools and played at banquets and festivals by people of varying nationalities. Our country and people are indeed special, and when the world comes here to experience our beauty, they leave mesmerized by the energy of our culture.
The THA Pan Champs has been in existence for 19 years. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
Coming up next, how well do you know the history of Carnival? Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Come, let let me go to Tobago, that paradise among by Robinson Crusoe. And it is said, it's the land of tomorrow. Princess Margaret say, come Tobago for holiday. Now the whole world say, come Tobago for holiday.
Welcome back. You're tuning in to Let's Talk Tobago. The Spring Garden Moravian Church has a kitchen garden at the back of the office that produces, among other things, lettuce, corn, and pigeon peas. Do you know all the traditional carnival characters? No? Well, in this next story, we tell you about a few lucky primary school students who got the opportunity to learn about the history of carnival. Juliet James has more in this report.
Knowing your heritage is instrumental in preserving it. That is why the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation recently hosted a series of lectures on the history of Carnival. The lectures exposed primary schoolers from across Tobago to the origins of traditional mass to help the students develop a greater appreciation for Carnival.
Well, one has to understand the genocide. I'm not saying that if you do it that we have to go back to those times. It's good to know where things came from, how they started, and who were the people that, and the kind of work that our foreparents did to keep this thing alive, so that they will themselves recognize that what they're doing today is going to be a part of history 20 years down the road.
Traditional characters are used to preserve old mass aspects of the carnival, and the students learned just what makes a great extempo.
The same rules that informs the structuring of an essay or a paragraph is the same thing that informs the proper structure of an extempo verse. It might look vaiki and think, You have a topic sentence, you have a body, you have a clincher sentence, which should be a bit humorous so you can draw the audience into you. In extempo, you have 8 lines to make an impact, so it has to be impactful. You have to get to the root of the matter immediately and at once. Same thing with a good calypso, same thing with a good essay.
Every minute, all you have to pay attention.
The Carnival Education Lecture Series was held at the Carnival Museum, GNV Place, Scarborough. From the Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation, I'm Juliet James reporting for Let's Talk Tobago.
The chapel behind me was constructed by the mission of the Spring Garden Church in 1856 to serve a dual purpose. On weekdays, it served as a school, and on the weekends, church services were held there up until 1963. Now pay attention to this. Staff at the Scarborough Library facility are hosting a short computer class for students having challenges using computer applications. Omadara Mills fills us in.
Students from across Tobago come to the Scarborough Library facility to learn. They also interact and use the computer facilities and the digital media. But over time, library staff observed that children, typically lower form students, were having difficulties using various computer applications. So they started a 3-month computer class. They're teaching these students how to use the computer and popular software such as Microsoft Office.
Reason being is that transition from primary school into secondary school can be a little much. Everything is new because within the primary school, we are not really taught the computer aspects as much. When you hit the secondary school now, all of this, they have to do it. They have to learn to be able to do projects, and these are the information and the tools that will be necessary for them to get it completed.
Apart from the Microsoft suite, the students are also learning to use email and to navigate the internet.
What we're trying to do is to provide the information as well as the application and having the technology here so that they can marry all of this together.
These children are sacrificing some of their time to improve their computer skills. They are seeing the class as an opportunity for academic growth.
I do see this helping with my studies because I can do my assignments on my own, because now attending this class I am able to understand the computer.
I like that I can go over the things I did in school and I can get a pick up on it.
The students will receive a certificate of participation at the end of this course. The library will continue to offer computer literacy classes as well as a research skills class for students from Forms 3 to 5. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
The Old Moravian Church is a monument of outstanding importance in the social history of Tobago, and it has become a tourist attraction. Now come with me as I take you on a journey through the years, the highs and lows, the milestones and memorable moments since 1980 when the new Tobago House of Assembly was formed. Let's have a look at Footnotes.
Food is a basic human need. That's why food security is so important. It's assuring that there's enough safe and nutritious food that meets our dietary needs for an active and healthy life. In Tobago, there are a number of programs and projects to boost food production and support the growth of local farms. Since the re-establishment of the Tobago House of Assembly in 1980, the division responsible for agriculture, now the Division of Food Production and Fisheries, has been vigorously working to bring Tobago food security. You see, in 1963, Hurricane Flora destroyed many of the island's crops. This and several other factors have led to lower rates of food production on the island. But with the dedicated efforts of the Tobago House of Assembly and the agricultural and fishing industries, this is changing. One such avenue is education. The Kendall Farm School offers training from farming basics to beekeeping, animal rearing, health and safety, and pen construction. There's a streamlined approach to boosting production and food quality standards, and providing support for local food producers. Over the years, farmers have been allotted agricultural lands at Studley Park, Mount St. George, Goldsboro Estate, Richmond, and Mason Hall. These lands are earmarked for crops, dairy, and rearing pigs and cattle. They've also accessed funding in categories such as land preparation, small machinery and equipment, and irrigation systems. Peter Leslie, who rears rabbits, was one of the beneficiaries. He used the funds to build cages and expand the building where he houses the rabbits.
It has allowed you to stretch your resources, your personal resources, even further. Because how the incentive works, when you invest, a percentage of what you invest in certain areas would be refunded to you as an incentive. So it allows you to go a little bit further in the context of, an investment, or it allows you to strengthen your cash flow position as a result of those refunds that you would get from time to time.
Farmers have also been benefiting from heavy equipment services. Farmers can request the rental of equipment through the Agricultural Equipment and Tool Rental programs, and personnel to assist in preparing their lands for crops. And with the increase in food production comes a house to package the food.
It's a facility that adds a new dimension to the agricultural sector. It's a facility that's going to help the farmers in Tobago to upgrade themselves, because this facility provides an avenue whereby farmers will be able to produce in a more efficient manner. They'll also be able to grade their facilities, grade their produce, and be able to open up new markets in terms of packages and so on, packaging their produce and so on.
In 2015, a packaging house facility was commissioned. Producers also have access to cold storage services at the Tobago Cold Storage and Warehouse Facility, TECOSWAF, at Shaw Park. The facility was established in 2004 and also has commercial space for tenants to sell their produce. The island's farmers and agro-processors are growing in confidence. Through initiatives such as the Business Development Unit's grants and loan programs, they are able to purchase equipment, expand production, and seek export opportunities. There's also progress in the fishing industry. A focus has been placed on phytosanitary standards and health and safety and fish handling training for fishermen. There are fishing facilities in communities such as Castara, Charlottesville, Bell Garden, Lambeau, Pigeon Point, Mount Irvin, and many others.
I am certain that this new facility will improve fish handling, reduce post-harvest loss, and showcase the great quality and the different variety of seafood to sell the much needed fish to the public in a highly phytosanitary standard. It is important that we have the sanitation of the things that we use placed paramount in our operations, because we want to be healthy in all of our years of our lives.
These initiatives aren't only going to improve food safety and abundance, they're also going to ensure that Tobago is self-sufficient in providing food for the island in the years to come. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time to take a break, but when we return, we take you to the wetlands. Don't go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. Stay with us. The Montgomery Church is the oldest Moravian church in Tobago, as it was built in 1790. The Buku Moravian Church was built in 1996, making it the youngest Moravian church to be constructed on the island. Primary school students were taken on a field trip to the wetlands to understand its importance to Tobago. Have a look at this story.
Black, white, red, mangrove, crabs, clams, cops, lobster, shrimp, oysters, fish. Wetlands will fall one more time. Black, white, red, mangrove, crabs, clams, cops, lobster, shrimp, oysters, fish. Wetlands will fall one more
Children from the Patience Hill Government Primary School visited the mangrove swamps and beaches at Kilgwin and Buku to get a first-hand experience of the importance wetlands have in Tobago. The Standard 4 pupils were intrigued to learn about the functions of the wetlands. They also learned about the ways plants have adapted to living in the environment.
I learned today that marshes have grasses and swamps have trees. I learned that the black mangrove would have roots coming up from the ground. Piece of it is up above the ground and piece of it would be under, because the piece that is under would be in water and has no air. So the parts above would get it some air.
The students also found out that wetlands are areas covered in either static or flowing, fresh, brackish or salt water. The water doesn't exceed 6 meters at low tide. By this definition, Tobago has more than 20 natural and man-made wetland sites. The group made a stop at the Buku Marsh, where they got some fascinating facts.
For example, we're here at Buku. A lot of the migratory birds that go from North America to South America, they often stay off here, rest and feed before they continue on their journey, right? And so a lot of people are familiar with the bird watching potential of Tobago, so they come here to view our very unique situation here.
Besides attracting visitors, wetlands have other benefits that locals should appreciate.
They play such an important role on our island, from the fact that they protect our coastlines to the fact that they are nurseries for fish and people earn their living here. So it's important that we learn that we need to preserve such a treasure.
Educational tours like this one were conducted by the THA's Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries in collaboration with Environment Tobago to commemorate World Wetlands Day. The division also conducts field trips with NGOs. It's their way of ensuring people learn how much wetlands contribute to our lives. I'm Amadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
The Moravian parishes are spread throughout Tobago. They can be found in Montgomery, Moriah, Bonaccord, Back Bay, Black Rock, Bethesda, and Buku. The annual Interdepartment Calypso and Personality Competition took place at the Shaw Park Complex. Keyshawn Wilson has all the details on who took home the crown this year. Have a look.
Good night, one and all. Like me see I leave a little warm home to come a Shaw Park Coal Auditorium Hall. I am Travis Sebro, representing the Division of Finance and the Economy.
There he is. Interdepartment Personality 2017. Travis Sebro of the Division of Finance and the Economy. Travis walked away with bragging rights and $8,000.
Me find out, watch me up and down. You must be want to know. Make me attire myself to go up on the people and walk like this. Here what going on. Me depend short term. So listen this now. Listen this. Short tie. Short shot. Short pants. Because me have to look the part as my grand always tell me.
Taking second position was Rolf Celestine, representing the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor. Rolf also had the best talent piece.
All you remember the damn Lorraine? Remember how she used to walk uptown, shut down tongue, walk she bum all along and wrong. Late in the night and early in the morning. Nobody never disrespect she.
The Division of Tourism, Culture and Transportation's Anicia Batiste was third, but Anicia was still a winner, with the best carnival wear. And in the Calypso segment, Darcel Dumas, representing both the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy and the Division of Youth Affairs and Sport, was the 2017 Interdepartment Calypso Monarch. She won $7,000. Second was the Division of Food Production and Fisheries, Yvonne Duke, and Melissa Thomas of the Division of Settlements, Urban Renewal and Public Utilities placed third. Even after the show, the jamming continued, but like this. I'm Keyshawn Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear what you, the viewers, have to say. Today we're asking, why are wetlands important to Tobago? While you think about it, let's take a look at who had their say this week.
Wetlands are important for Tobago because it helps to purify the water.
They protect the reefs and are breeding places for animals, fishes.
They act as a water control and help so that it won't be flooded. And they also are protection for endangered plants and homes for them and animals. And they also purify water before they get to rivers or water storage.
We close yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Davia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and very productive week. We close now with a montage of the Junior Panorama Competition 2017. We do hope you enjoy.